Is my mic working? Hey, my mic is working! We're professional here.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode. You knew I didn't know what it was.
9:22. No, 9:32.
9:32. Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Haley's back again. There's Haley. And today, the return of the much-loved news feature, the MIKELOPEDIA Insanica, where we'll look at some interesting news in the world.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Plus, we hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere, the engineer. Chely Shoehart is a girl.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And yesterday, hey, Haley, at 6 p.m., the heat was so annoying.
I know.
And my dog, Basil the Boxer, needed walking, so we drove to the bay, straight into the sun, which was blinding. Luckily, the tide was high, and my dog went splashing. He was so happy, and we stayed till the sun went down.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Then, as we walked back, there was a skunk just hanging around.
Mike's
My dog sees it,
Daily
thinks it's a cat.
Podcast.
He starts to go for it, but luckily he's on a leash and on the other side of me, so I can keep him far away from it. And then we ran.
That's good.
We ran so far away, but no stink.
Night and day.
No stink. You know, skunks, they're such a big smell hazard, yet they have this big, fluffy, beautiful tail. It's really beautiful. When I saw this tail, I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. Get the hell out of here.
You know, you can keep a skunk as a pet. You can actually buy a skunk
that's been descented.
And you can. They're supposedly quite friendly and fun because they don't really have any defense mechanisms aside from their smell stuff. So like, they're pretty gentle creatures. Same with the possums. The worst a possum will do to you, like it can bite you and scratch you, but its main defense mechanism is obviously the famous one is just falling over and acting
Playing
like
possum.
they're dead. Yeah.
Playing dead.
But hissing and yelling is the I saw the smallest little cat today.
It was the smallest little cat?
It was a little tiny black cat, and it was running along, and I was going along my scooter at high speeds, and it was like, oh no, I have to get out of the way. But we were on a small little sidewalk, and there was ivy patches on each side, so it kind of tried to go over to the side, but I still kept going forward, because I gotta get past you, little cat. So it would run really far ahead to try to get away from me, and then I'd get it close to it again, and it would run really far ahead, and it was really sad, because it didn't understand that I wasn't trying to harm it. I was just trying to pass by.
This happened to me last night, after the skunk incident, and the little white... I like the little white streak in the skunk's tail, by the way. That's so neat. I like. Anyway, and we're walking on this other path, and I'm like, oh gosh, I hope we don't see another skunk. And then I see this black thing jump out, and I thought it was a skunk, but it was a cat, and it kept running just ahead of us the whole time. And Basil's like, I want to get it, you know, and I'm holding him back with the leash.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy.
So now I know I can't outrun a cat.
You can't.
I can't. I wasn't particularly trying, but I was going pretty fast, and it was going a lot faster.
It was a competition thing.
It wasn't. I was just like, no, I don't want to harm you, cat. And the cat was like, holy crap! Get away, get away, get away!
You were causing such fear in that cat. It was a scaredy cat.
I feel bad.
It was a smelly cat. And oh, look, it just walked in. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
Answer disgruntled fiddle player tell you what.
What?
I hate cats because what they do is they look at you and they judge you, and I can't stand that.
I just judged them back.
You know, you guys aren't supposed to be here today. It's some other people. Oh, okay, we'll leave. Bye, we know we're not wanted. And as they left, look who else walked in.
They rode off into the sunset. Everything was good in the world.
I was talking right there, Haley. Oh my god.
I know.
That's like so mean.
We can edit it in post.
No. I don't know what that means. Anyway, I did make you a croissant. But no, I don't think I'm going to give it to you because I'm Chely Shoehart, the gift shop supervisor.
That's fine. I didn't even order one today.
Oh my God, Haley, that was such a pretty picture that your girlfriend drew for the last podcast. I saw it yesterday.
Thanks.
It was like so nice. Mike looked like so young. I did. I looked like a little child. It was so like goofy. I love Faith Hill. What has Faith Hill done lately?
I don't know.
I guess she doesn't have to do anything because radio stations are gonna keep playing "Breathe" till the day we die. I can feel you breathe.
Yeah.
Rocking in my sleep. That's not how the song goes. I love MIA. That's your favorite band.
That really surprises me. It's not, but it's one of my favorite.
Do you still wake up to MIA?
No, God, no.
That like terrorized you that morning.
It did.
Look who else just walked in. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, what's this picture you just gave me? Oh yeah, this is a picture Haley's girlfriend drew of you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're in a loving embrace in bed together.
It's very racy.
I'm looking at it now. I look really buff in this picture. Yeah, you do!
You're
so do
welcome.
I! Yeah, you guys are like, it's kind of a hot little shot of you two in bed making out.
Scandalous.
You gave me a 10! A 10, yes.
10 out of 10.
Becca gave you a 10. Or wait, is it 13 Eka?
No, it's never mind.
You have to see it. When you see the picture, you'll understand the drawing, because I put...
did you put the picture up on...
Yeah.
MixCloudPodcast.com?
Yeah, of the... Oh, no, not that one.
Yeah.
The other one.
The one that has her Tumblr attached to it, yeah.
Yes.
L3.
Oh, it's L3. That's what it is.
L3 that makes the B.
The little L and the 3 make a B.
Our other friend Bree started that, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so she was not on Tumblr for a really long amount of time. And the rest of our friends were. Mm-hmm. And when she did on there, she did join it. She had L3RI.tumblr as her URL. And we all thought it was ridiculous. And then we all changed our names to have the first letter be represented by something that wasn't the actual letter.
That's brilliant.
So we have another friend who had like LC for a K. And then
LC. Oh yeah, I can see that.
And then my girlfriend has LB because her name's Becca, and I have L-L for H.
Ah. Mm-hmm. Now, if we could take a 3 and do it like on its side, I could have an M for Mike.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's. You could do 2 N's.
2 N's, so it'd be Nike.
Yeah. To
the people that, have no imagination.
Just do it.
All right.
Get it?
You work on so many levels of comedy.
Anyway.
Hey, it's time for a segment I haven't done in a long time.
Mike rips someone a new one.
Wait, I have one more thing to say before we get to that segment.
Too late.
But
it's gonna work perfectly. I can just predict what it's gonna work perfectly with what you, because this segment's called Mike rips someone a new one. But Haley, you can rip someone a new one too. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't gonna rip someone a new one. I just wanted to say. Well, metaphorically, I'm not gonna rip these people a new one because it's their birthday.
Oh,
yesterday.
So you're gonna close up something then?
Yes.
You're gonna close up with
their
love.
grave because they're getting old. Yesterday, we were talking off mic about Leonard Cohen.
Oh, okay.
The folk musician, very influential in the world of music.
So long, Marianne.
That song has been stuck in my head all morning, by the way.
It was stuck in my head all last night.
Yeah. So he turned 81 yesterday.
Yay.
Which is old. Happy birthday to him. And I didn't find out until after the podcast, but I did find out this morning it's Joan Jett's birthday.
No.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
She is 57
Wow.
I know, that's crazy.
She still looks great, and she still sings and sounds great. I love rock and roll. Big up, baby.
If I was gonna get tired of if I was Joan Jett and I was gonna get tired of one of her songs, it would be that one first,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Anyway, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Joan Jett.
Hey, little liar,
Yeah.
I believe in you. I hate myself for loving you. I can't tell you how to make stew. I go all night and you broke the mic. I can't hate myself for loving you. All right. Here's who I wanted to rip a new one to. I'm just so irritated about this drug company called Turing. They make a tablet for women that are pregnant that are somehow infecting their baby with a sickness. It's a rare disease, apparently.
Right, okay.
This tablet went from $13 to like $700 because of this company.
That's actually, I heard about that. It's not just for women. It's for a specific disease that is in a frequently affects a lot of people with autoimmune diseases, and that includes people with AIDS. And diseases like that. So
okay.
this is a big drug. This is keeping people alive.
Yeah.
And this guy who owns this drug company is just like this trust fund bro.
Yeah, hedge fund guy.
Yeah.
Douche.
Total douche. Buys the company. Bam, $750 a pill.
This guy should be outed. Well, first off, Turing isn't. They're jerks.
Yeah.
And he was fired from another company. And I would look it up, but the computer's way over there, and I can't reach it from here.
I can tell.
I can't get to it. But anyway, Turing, they suck.
Yeah.
And the guy that runs it.
What's his name?
Okay. Gonna make me go over here.
Please. This is important.
By the way, I'm gonna go to Bing. Bing gave me a free Chipotle burrito because I'd done so many searches on them. Which I think, Google, you could step up to the plate and do the same sort of thing. I know you're the biggest friggin' thing on the earth, but throw us a boon. Alright, so ahead of Turing. Is it Turing like Alan Turing?
Yeah.
So that'd be Turing. Drugs? I'll just do that. Let's see what happens. Did you mean turning drugs? No! Oh.
That's a good way to make money.
It said the head is... No, that's not it.
Martin Shkreli.
Is that what you got? I think you're right. Yeah. Martin Shkreli.
Martin Shkreli.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. He is so... He looks like... who's the guy that played... He's the British actor. Alan... Is it Alan Cummings? The guy...
He does look a little bit like Alan Cummings. I think, yeah. He does. He looks like the...
Oh, yes, Alan Cummings. Hello, this is Alan Cummings. Alan Cummings, actually, I think he's Scottish. It's Alan Cummings. I love Alan Cummings. I hate this guy, though. Frickin' Martin Shkreli.
Screw you.
Screw you and your friggin' $750 he raised it to. Hedge fund.
5,000%.
This guy, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do, Haley, young millennial with the tools to help bring down such tyrants on the internet. What is your suggestion?
There's always revolution.
Revolution will be televised on this podcast.
Hold on tight. I'm a revolution.
Oh, here, I'm gonna write this on. What was that song you were singing?
That was the Veronicas.
Wait, you just sang a song from the Veronicas?
Hell yeah, I just sang a song from the Veronicas.
Do you know how awesome the Veronicas are?
Yes, I do. That's why I sang a song from them.
Okay, every member of that band is fantastic.
There's two of them.
I thought there was 4.
No, it's the Veronica number 1 and Veronica number 2. They're sisters.
Oh.
Like
This is him talking. Oh, wait, they can't hear it because I have it in a different...
Well, he sounds like a douche.
Yeah.
So just take our word for that. He sounds like a douche, and he is a douche, and he looks like a douche. Also kind of looks like Buscemi.
Here,
He's got that...
Oh, yeah.
He's got that hairstyle.
I'm typing on my Facebook. There is a lower circle of hell for Martin Shkreli.
He should be on the first ring of hell because heat rises. So it's the hottest.
He should be on the upper one because heat rises. Thanks, Haley.
Thanks, science.
For your... Now, I shouldn't thank you because then that makes it sound like I'm saying that you're the one that brought Martin Shkreli into the world.
Thanks, Obama.
There, I'm going to post this, and I bet you I won't get a single response because I think people don't read posts anymore, do they? They just read... I mean, they don't read the... You need to attach a picture to it or a video.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
If you put it on your Twitter, you might get a response.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice little blurb. Twitter blurb.
Well, I'm glad we found out. And his name is so forgettable. What is it? Martin Shkreli. Okay. So just remember that he's the devil. And the other thing was a guy named Paul Gosar. He's a politician from Arizona. And he is going to boycott I almost said St. Francis. Pope Francis. Who's named after St. Francis. But because he disagrees with him on climate change. He's like, the Pope says there's climate change. I disagree. I'm not going to be... Oh, I'm a Catholic. He's a Catholic, too.
Right.
And so I'm going to boycott him.
I've heard about there's quite a discrepancy between a lot of American Catholicism, and the Pope himself, which is very interesting.
But here's the thing: it's not the Pope. Catholicism has always been anti-capitalism to the extent that you should not be. Jesus said, don't be absorbed by material wealth. You should help out the people less fortunate. That's always been. They've never changed.
Yeah.
And some people are saying Francis is even more conservative by bringing this stuff up because that's the rules. That's what Catholics have always believed. It's American Catholics that have gone off on their own, change and have been the liberals.
As always.
Let's knock over a few barrels and not have some... And I was trying to act like a ruffian from the old days.
Knock over a few barrels?
I don't know what
Is that a term?
Do you knock over a barrel?
You can.
You can roll out the barrel.
You can roll out the barrels. Usually if a barrel is filled with something, it's going to be really heavy.
That's true.
Those things are big. You can't really knock it over if it's full. Even if it's empty, it's still a big, heavy thing, like oak.
That's true. My metaphor is lacking.
So I guess you would be really strong and a ruffian if you could just knock over barrels.
That's true. Well then, but you get my point. What would you knock over?
A bank, probably.
I set that up nicely for you. Did you have anything to add? I didn't mean to take over the show and go into my little segment of Mike Rip Someone. But those two people really irritate me today.
I just hate it when you go and take over your own show.
It's, it's, I guess it's...
What is this, Mike's Daily Podcast?
Oh, that's right. But... enough about me, especially after you interviewed me on the last show, and I just took over the whole show talking about myself, blah, blah, blah.
So rude. How dare I ask you questions about yourself and then you answer them?
That was funny, though. I enjoyed the listening of that to myself, which is actually, I shouldn't have listened to that because that was very narcissistic of me.
I always listen to our podcast, but only if I'm on it.
Oh, okay. Good. That's fair.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend, did she enjoy the podcast yesterday?
Yeah. She liked the part where you were a slug.
Oh, yeah. And the salt and everything.
Yeah.
Slugs can't drink tequila. Or, margaritas because of the salt along the edge.
You can put sugar along the edge. It could be a blended margarita.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
What do we got? Oh. I usually promote the podcast website here. MikesDailyPodcast.com. Okay, there we go. That was good. And there's, we're on iTunes and Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube.
YouTube is popular. That's my preferred listening method.
That's cool. I'm glad that I upload to that.
Because I can just search Mike's Daily Podcast, which, I just put it in YouTube on my browser, and at this point it just autofills to searching for Mike's Daily Podcast, and it's always the first one is the most recent.
Wow. You've got that down.
Yep.
I've seen you, though, listen to the show on Mixcloud.
Yeah, if I'm too impatient, I will.
And Ameristream Live, we're on there. And then finally, please help us out with the Amazon link. Click on that and buy something. It helps us out. And there's the PayPal thing if you want to help us out that way. That's really cool.
It's not really a click-on thing. You have to kind of know what you want to buy if you're gonna buy from Amazon. Through us, and then it's a search bar on MikesDailyPodcast.com, and you put in whatever you want to search, and then you press search, and then a list of items will come up, and you click the one you want, and then it'll take you to the Amazon page, and you buy it through there.
Damn you, Amazon, for making it so complicated.
It is. There should be just a link, and I know that there used to be, so I don't know if they're changing it or what's going on.
Yeah, they're changing it. They're getting rid of widgets, which is what I
need. We don't need a widget. We just need a link, so I don't know why. Anyway.
You know what? Thank you. I think I know how to do that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go back and change that. All right, anyway, but whatever we have, I know you, the listener, are capable enough to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then also make sure to express your hate to Martin Scully.
Yes.
On the internet as well.
Hey, if you have trouble with the Amazon link, email us at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Yes.
At gmail.com, and then we will offer technical support.
Yeah, if you would like to be on the show too, email us MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to sponsor the show.
Sure.
And if you'd like to make a comment, we read your comments on the section emails from email and your comment not so comments. So that's the email. And we can also you can tweet at us on Twitter at Mike Talks, and on Facebook, facebook.com/MikesDailyPodcast. And also on Tumblr. We can't wait to hear from you. Haley wants to hear your question and your response
and
to
give snarky responses.
Yes. Okay, now it's time for the segment.
The MIKELOPEDIA Insanica.
Got a long list of ex-lovers. They'll tell you I'm insane, but I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name.
The MIKELOPEDIA Insanica. It's a book full of interesting stories and facts.
That's one piece of paper.
It's not a very big book. It's a huge book. And let's see. So we started off this segment, since it's about 3D printers. We started off the segment with a song about 3D printers. Or 3D. Which would be, what's a good 3D song? I did not expect to see such a blank expression on your face. We'll use Blank Space by Taylor Swift. I'll try and find the Ryan Adams version.
You love games, goddamn reckless. We'll take this way too far, we'll leave you breathless. Oh, with the nasty scar. But along the Starbucks lovers, they tell you I'm insane, but I've got a blank space, baby. I'll write your name.
Which I hear
It's all ties together.
all the rage. I hear, though, I've heard a little bit of some of it, and I was like, ooh, but a lot of people say the novelty wears off quick. Hearing his complete remake of Taylor Swift's 1989, Ryan Adams. Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
So 3D printers are getting big. There's a steady rise of 3D printing as an accessible activity for millions. And that means digital piracy, which has wreaked havoc on the media business in the internet age now hangs over sales of physical products, long considered immune to such forces. So people like are saying, hey, I want to print a Star Wars doll, and bam, they do it with the 3D printing, and then they don't have to pay for the toy and all the licensing that goes into that cost.
Is that a Kerbal?
A what?
A Kerbal? That
What?
picture. The little green people.
Oh yeah, with the helmet.
Those are Kerbals from Kerbal Space Program, which is a indie video game that I don't believe there's any merchandise from. So that's very interesting that you can just print your own merchandise.
And this is the Wall Street Journal. The online marketplaces for 3D printing objects resembles a Walmart aisle full of comic book heroes and well-known cartoon characters, including Shrek statuettes, a recreated prop designed to resemble Angelina Jolie's headdress in Maleficent, and a snack dish modeled after the Star Wars Millennium Falcon, lightsaber toothpicks included. Gandalf, Homer Simpson, Walt Disney's head have all been printed. The tools needed to join the printing community are getting cheaper and more accessible by the day, even as the process of building an object layer by layer remains time-consuming and expensive. About 217,000 3D printers are expected to ship worldwide this year, more than twice the number of units than last year. Studio action against 3D printing has followed guidelines set out in the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Did you know of this thing?
You know, honestly, this is another example of something that was kind of common before in a lesser extent, in different forms, and then has grown to something so big and obvious that all of a sudden everyone's taking note of it. Because there were so many ways to make your own products and to do your own thing before 3D printing came around. For instance, my girlfriend and I illegally downloaded our own shirts. We went down to Michael's. We got ourselves some blank shirts of whatever color we wanted and some iron-on patches, and then we went home, found the design we wanted online from a webcomic, which we could get those shirts, like professionally printed and stuff. We could get shirts that had the designs from their website, but they were like $20, $25. And we found the design, printed it onto the iron-on, and then ironed it onto our shirts.
That is so... I've done that too.
Yeah. We illegally downloaded a shirt. And that's like practically no different. But that's been around, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Those alternate ways of doing things have been around for so long. But when the 3D printing came around, all of a sudden, everyone's kind of up in arms about it. Because you can do anything, even though it still takes so long and more effort than any of the previous ways.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a strange story all around.
So... Americans have ingenuity. You can't stop them with these stinking laws.
Nope.
This one, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, calls on website hosting copyright infringement content to remove it when notified by the rightful owners. That's basically all it is. But yeah, so people would use these things. It can be harder to trace 3D files and confirm that an infringement is occurring than it is with music or movies.
Yeah.
It says here.
The YouTube is the biggest
infringement.
Not really infringement, but they got hit the hardest by the DMCA.
Oh.
DMCA, like there's a lot of videos and stuff that got taken down because they just had music in them, like as background, or gaming videos. Quite a few skateboarding games, racing games, things of that nature have a soundtrack that is based around pop songs. And they got taken down because they had that song playing while they were playing the game. And the only way that you can play those games and show those games off, and this is quite often with permission from the publisher of the game that they get that permission to play these games, but they have to turn off the music because these are various bands and things that the game has permission to play, and they have the license to have in the game.
Yeah.
But you can't play that on YouTube in a gaming video. Anyway, that's the biggest example I've seen, but there's so many different things happening on YouTube.
But YouTube also has a thing where you can remove the song.
Yeah. But
if you're the person that uploaded it.
But it's like, do you want a huge gap of silence in your video?
That's true.
And if you're talking over it, you're screwed.
Well, now we're going to play another song that has to do with conspiracies.
Help me understand all people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. People are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully.
That was a great song. All right. This is because Haley brought this up. We're talking about conspiracies.
I talk about aliens a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this. Everyone's heard this.
And they did a study. This was like a call-out study. And
we want to preface this by saying it's from 2013, but there hasn't been a more recent one.
And the things people believe...
So, do you believe aliens exist or not? 29% of people say they do, and 24% say they're not sure, while 47% say they don't.
Okay. So,
which, I mean, that's fine. I'm a little bit surprised it's that low. As far as the UFO crash at Roswell, 21% believe that a UFO did crash at Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. The U.S. government covered it up, while 32% aren't sure if it did or not, and 47%, which is that is the exact same amount that said that aliens don't exist, say that it did not crash. So everyone who does believe in aliens or is not sure about aliens either does think that it crashed or isn't sure that it crashed in New Mexico.
Well, get to the part about Paul McCartney.
So, Paul McCartney, the Paul is dead theory, if anyone's familiar with that, which is basically Paul McCartney actually died in a car crash in 1966 and then was replaced by a lookalike so the Beatles could continue. 5% believe that happened. 80% believe that didn't happen. So that's a bit more of a discrepancy. 80% say no, that's not true. 14% say that they're not sure. And 1% was distracted by a fly.
What was the song that said Paul is dead if you played it backwards?
Revolution number 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they surveyed over 1,000 registered American voters.
Yeah, and it was a pretty good distribution. 50-50 man and woman. A decent spread, a little bit heavy in people who said they were moderate, like as far as politically goes, and somewhat conservative was the next biggest chunk at 23%, but most people said they were moderate. That's 31%. Let's see. Near split of Democrat and Republican, with a little bit less as far as the independent side goes.
Which is interesting because Trump has taken up the whole childhood vaccines cause autism thing, and which there's a guy I know who did a movie about that, about the mercury in the vaccines or what's causing autism, and he's always posting stuff on his Facebook about it. And when he saw Trump do that, he's a total Democrat, but when he saw that, he's like, yeah, I guess I agree with Trump. Oops. And then, according to this study, 46% disagree with the fact, or the assumption, the theory that childhood vaccines cause autism.
That medical report that said childhood vaccines cause autism was funded by special interests, and the person who did it lost his medical license.
How come nobody ever talks about that?
Because they want to not look at the facts and
they want a bunch of sick kids.
They want a bunch of sick kids. They don't want to give their kids a vaccine because they think they're going to give them autism.
They want to completely close down Disneyland forever and ever.
Yeah. Everyone can go to Dismaland, the Banksy theme park.
So, Rob Blackhair, anything else you'd like to add to the story of Haley?
I do want to say that 28% of people believe that a secretive power elite with a globalist agenda is conspiring to eventually rule the world through an authoritarian world government or new world order.
28%?
28%. 46% of people say that that's not true.
But still, that seems like a lot of people.
Yeah.
When you just look at numbers.
That's over 1 in 4 people.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
People are people. Mm-hmm. Ooh, maybe we'll use that song. Let's go outside. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're making Mike's Daily Podcast, and we're in Podcaster Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is from the... have you ever been to the GLBT Historic Museum in San Francisco, Haley?
No.
It's in the Castro, not to be confused with
Podcastro
Valley.
Yes.
I guess we should call it the Podcastro.
It's the Podcastro.
I don't know of any podcasts coming out of the Castro, but, you know, I should check it out. I'm sure there is one.
Do you think Fidel Castro has a podcast?
I don't know. Well, you know, the Pope's been over there, and he should have the Pope on a show.
Hello, this is Fidel Castro. I have today the Pope. We are going to talk about my crazy accent that I came up, but this must be Cubano.
I'm sorry. I've been listening to a lot of interesting Cuban accents I've been hearing on the TV or my podcast shows that I listen to.
I heard rumors that Fidel Castro is a big fan of tracksuits.
This is true. I love them tracksuits. I wear them all the time.
I got the Adidas logo right here on my chest constantly.
I am smoking a cigar and I drop the ashes in the little pocket in my tracksuit jacket.
We are gonna get murdered.
You know, Cuba is a beautiful... did you ever watch the... Nope, that happened, but nobody noticed. Okay. Anthony Bourdain, when he went to Cuba, it's fascinating. Watch that. He does a really good look at Cuba. It's beautiful. And, the cars are all really old because they haven't been able to import any since the embargoes and all that. So, anyway, so see the...